Honestly, I wasn't sure at first, but this NASCOURT show, it gets spicy at times. It's a slow burn, but if you just stick it out, you end up getting some real character development. If you haven't seen, NASCAR has reportedly been going out and might have a suitor or buyer for one of the 2311 or front row charters. And that's pretty spicy because in the midst of this big lawsuit going on and the back and forth, NASCAR is going to add another major fold to all of this. Now, it's important to know that it's not any of the SHR charters and that there is a hearing when it comes to the injunction on Thursday, and we should hear the status of that probably by, honestly, this time next week. But what this all could do and what this means is that we could essentially see 2311 in front row maybe not be run out of business right away, but be put in some pretty dire straits. And I know everyone's going to look at it and say, well, Michael Jordan and Bob Jenkins have millions, some billions of dollars. They can spend it. But I don't think the point of running a business like this is to be paying out of your own pocket constantly when there is a charter system that you could be a part of, which is the whole kind of crux of a lot of the issues that this lawsuit is bringing up. Now, it's convenient enough that this week it was reported that 2311 also is having sponsor and contract problems with their driver, Tyler Reddick. Now, again, I think it's kind of convenient this happened right around now, and they've talked about this, but if reports are starting to show more of this and we can actually see the proof in the pudding with it, well, then we could definitely be having more of an issue and we could see the irreparable harm because Tyler Reddick, even in an off year, is a top 10 NASCAR Cup Series driver. He has big sponsors like Monster, McDonald's, and others that are both with 2311, but also with him. And again, this proves why Thursday is going to be so important and why we're probably going to have to keep our ears pinned and ready for whenever news breaks on this from Thursday, Friday, maybe through the weekend, or definitely probably the start of next week. But I think that there's a few things that this brings up and questions. And this is the main point of the video I wanted to talk about here because from an outside view, I am no legal expert, but I am somebody that at least looks at this and wants to know how this all finishes. I jokingly said it's a slow burn of a show. Well, now we're getting into the brass tacks of it, and it's starting to get into one of those really good seasons. But there's questions from it, and it's kind of baffling some of the direction some of the characters are going with it. For one, I wanted to ask this. Who is the team that could be buying one of these charters, knowing that they could be putting another team at risk like this? Who is it? There's been a lot of talk all summer about Legacy Motor Club getting another charter. They have been in a lawsuit of their own with Rick Ware Racing, which probably would take center stage if it weren't for this one. They've also been rumored to possibly buy out Haas and have 41, 42, 43. And it seems more and more that every time there's a charter rumor of a team wanting one, it's Legacy that's always involved. So could it be them? I would think they'd probably be the leading candidate. And even if they said that they weren't, well, come on, who the hell is going to go out there when everything's redacted? There's JRM. Everyone also is asking, is this Dale Jr. getting in? I don't know. I mean, on one end, Dale Jr. is a harsh businessman. If you actually pay attention to some of the businesses he runs and the way that he likes to corner markets, there is no way that he would pass up, I think, on a great deal. And he said as such. And he's also said over and over again that he would wait for the charters to get to a certain point or a certain price. Well, if NASCAR is giving them away or giving them away at least a huge discount, I don't see why JRM wouldn't. But the thing is, I don't know. I think there would be actual reports on this and rumors about this had it been them. RCR, they were kind of in rumblings about more charters early in the year, but we haven't heard much about it since. There's RFK. Technically, they don't own the charter that the 60 car is run under. Ryan Preece has shown a lot of promise this year. And honestly, with another year behind him with this team, I could totally see him being a playoff caliber driver. What about Live Fast? I know this sounds like an odd one to bring up, but BJ McLeod has actually been rumored as well to want to get a charter if there is a good price for it as well. So I think he and that 78 team should be possible ones to look at. But the thing is what would the fallout be with all of this? What would it be? Would teams look at the ones buying these charters in a different light or different way? Or would it be a way to eliminate competition in the short term and maybe they wouldn't be looked at that bad, it'd just be business? And what happens to these charters if NASCAR sells them off and then at some point through court proceedings, well, NASCAR has to give them back? Then what happens? Does the ones that paid money or went through everything the right way according to NASCAR, or are they just shit out of luck? And 2311 and Front Row have to get their charters back? Would NASCAR maybe add more charters in a way to try and be fair to those who did put something on the line with that? What would that fallout be? I don't think this leads to 40-car fields or anything, but could we maybe have a 37th charter out there because of just more of that, again, fairness aspect with it? I think that's a real question to be had. Also, my other big one, and this is one I worry about a little bit more the further this goes and the dirtier this gets. How is NASCAR going to look after this? Because there's a very real, possibly likely chance at this point that NASCAR could win on just about every count they want to in this process, at least all the major ones. And I just ask, is it worth it? Is it worth chasing out Bob Jenkins and chasing out Michael Jordan and chasing out all of these new age owners or new owners in general? 6 competitive teams would be basically out of business more or less unless they wanted to go as open teams, which I doubt. For what? The 78 car to come back? For an extra RCR car? I just don't see where the win is for anybody involved if NASCAR ends up winning and chasing out owners. Michael Jordan being utilized in NASCAR correctly, to be promoted correctly and have his drivers out there promoting the sport correctly, that would be bigger for NASCAR than anyone else being a team owner. Even Dale Earnhardt Jr. I'm a huge Junior fan, grew up rooting for him, but it's pretty clear that Junior, his base is catered for the diehard NASCAR fans and the old school NASCAR fans that they already have. Michael Jordan, he is completely outside of the NASCAR sphere when it comes to attracting people in. And NASCAR so far has blown it having him here. Now, granted, MJ being in a lawsuit doesn't help that. But afterwards, especially if more or less they are able to win on a lot of these things and get their charters and get everything sorted out that way, there needs to be more collaboration between them. Because at this point, it just seems like NASCAR, and even to an extent too, the teams want to control everything and burn down the house around them to be at the top of the heap, regardless if it's a burning pile of rubble. And for NASCAR's count, at least being in the top of the heap before TV decides that they need to be at the top of the heap again. Either way, there is a lot that's still to come with this and a lot of questions, but you have to wonder just what is the sport going to be like after this? Because this is a lot bigger than a lot of fans want to give it credit for. It's boring for a lot of fans because it's just court proceedings. But this is going to affect how we watch NASCAR through the end of this TV deal and probably how the next one is structured, no matter what happens in it. I think it'd be best for all fans to keep a pretty close eye on all of this. So now I want to know what you think. Who do you think wins all of this? And what do you think the fallout will be? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're at, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support. And until next time, have a good one.